Saving money. You've been told your entire life it's the responsible thing to do. But saving money might just be hoarding fear with a better name. And most people never catch it. There is a pattern running through almost every person who has a growing savings account and still wakes up anxious. A pattern hidden inside the language of discipline and caution, disguised as virtue so perfectly that catching it requires questioning everything you were taught about being smart with money. Fear wearing responsibility. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what that pattern is. And the reason is not what you think. If you've ever had more money saved than you've ever had before, and still felt like it wasn't enough, stay until the final minute. That feeling has a name, and this video was made for you. This is Stop Saving Money. Because what I'm about to reveal today is the critical difference between cash that builds and cash that hides. Between money held with a mission and money piled up as pure anxiety insurance. You'll walk away knowing exactly which one you have and what to do about it. The fear vault. Let's start where no financial advisor will. There are two kinds of savings, and from the outside they look identical. Same discipline, same spreadsheets, same responsible energy, but one is building, the other is hiding. The person who is hiding doesn't know it. They genuinely believe they're being responsible. They've been told their whole lives that saving is a virtue, and they believe it. A penny saved is a penny earned. What Franklin forgot to add, a penny held in terror is a penny slowly dying. When you save because you're afraid. Afraid of losing your job, afraid of instability, afraid of what happens if the worst actually comes. You're not building security. You're building a prison and calling it a fortress. The pile grows, the anxiety doesn't shrink. You keep adding, not towards something, away from everything. Saving from fear is not a financial strategy. It's a symptom. And until you can see the difference, you'll keep feeding the symptom and wonder why you never feel free. What do the people who actually build wealth do differently? What you're about to hear might unsettle everything you believe about smart money. Rich vs. scared. Here's the question that unlocks everything. Why doesn't money anxiety disappear when you have more money? Because the wealthy don't treat savings the way most people do. And this gap explains almost every wealth difference you see. Research from behavioral economists studying high net worth individuals consistently reveals that wealthy people hold cash with a mission attached. Emergency fund. Mission: cover 6 months of life expenses. Investment buffer. Mission: capitalize on market dips without selling core assets. Opportunity fund. Mission: say yes when the right door opens. They don't have piles, they have portfolios of intention. Every dollar has a job, a timeline, and a destination. Mission attached to every dollar. The pile with no mission has a hidden mission too. It just doesn't know what it is. And that hidden mission is costing you more than you realize. If this is already shifting how you see your finances, hit like and subscribe because we're just getting started. What comes next reveals the math most people never get shown. The numbers alone will change how you feel about that pile in your account. Inflation truth. Here's the thing nobody puts on a motivational poster about saving money. Inflation doesn't care about your discipline. In the United States, average inflation runs between 2 and 4% annually, which means $100,000 sitting in a low-yield savings account loses between $2,000 and $4,000 of real purchasing power every single year. Silently, you're paying a fear tax every single year and calling it savings. Inflation is the one form of taxation that can be imposed without legislation. This is not an argument against saving. It's an argument against saving with no destination. Money in motion has the potential to compound. Money in stagnation only decays. That's not philosophy, that's math. A pile without a plan isn't security. It's slow erosion. The fear says keep it safe, but static isn't safe. It's just slow losing dressed in the costume of caution. What if the pile that's supposed to protect you is working against you? Every single year, quietly, without telling you. The next segment reveals why it never feels like enough. And the psychology behind it is darker than most people are ready to face. The safety trap. Let me ask you something. How much would you have to have saved before you finally felt financially safe? Go ahead, pick a number. Now ask yourself. How many times have you already crossed a number that should have felt exactly like that? Because here's what psychology has been telling us for decades. Anxiety cannot be solved by accumulation. Daniel Kahneman, Nobel laureate and behavioral economist, found that financial anxiety operates largely independent of actual financial position. You can double your savings and still not feel twice as safe. The anxiety recalibrates. Fear moves the threshold. Save more, feel less. This pattern has a name in psychology. the hedonic adaptation of security. The more you accumulate trying to feel safe, the more the feeling of safety keeps moving forward. Because the anxiety driving the saving is not a financial problem. It is a psychological one, and no dollar amount deposited will ever resolve it. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. Your savings account isn't a vault. For many people, it's a leash, and they're holding both ends. What does the alternative actually look like? In the next segment, I'll show you exactly how the wealthy reframe their relationship with cash, and what mission-attached money looks like in real practice. Money with purpose. There is a concept that Warren Buffett calls dry powder. It refers to cash held deliberately available, not out of fear, but out of strategic readiness. The wealthy hold cash on purpose, not in panic. Here's the practical difference between fear saving and mission saving. Fear-based saving is reactive. It grows when anxiety spikes, has no ceiling because the goal of feeling safe can never truly be met, and sits idle because deploying it feels like losing it. Mission-based saving is intentional. It grows toward a defined target and deploys when that target arrives. Ask yourself right now, what is your savings account actually for? Emergency fund. Can you define it precisely with a ceiling? Opportunity capital. Do you have a specific trigger for using it? If you cannot name the mission of your savings in one clear sentence, you may be hoarding anxiety rather than building freedom. Purpose, not panic. Someone's sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. The difference between wealth and hoarding isn't discipline, it's direction. And what I need to share next is the scientific reason most people can never make this shift. A wiring problem that started long before you were even aware of money. Scarcity wiring. Let me take you inside the brain for a moment, because this is where the fear-saving pattern actually lies. When your amygdala, the brain's alarm center, perceives financial threat, it triggers what neuroscientists call a scarcity response. The brain narrows its focus and begins to hoard. It stops seeing opportunity and starts calculating danger. Every financial decision gets filtered through one question: is this safe? A brain running on scarcity cannot optimize for abundance. Research from Sendhil Mullainathan and Eldar Shafir, authors of the landmark study Scarcity, reveals that people under financial stress consume cognitive bandwidth at the expense of long-term planning. The same anxiety pushing you to save more is simultaneously preventing you from thinking clearly about what to do with it. Scarcity thinking blocks potential. You are running survival software in a world that rewards expansion software. This pattern was installed early. In childhood, in the stories your parents told about money, in the energy in the room when bills arrived. You did not choose this wiring, but you can rewrite it. The cost of not rewriting it, that is the next segment, and it is higher than most people are prepared to see in real numbers. The real cost. Let's talk about what fear saving actually costs you. Not in feelings, in numbers. Someone who keeps $50,000 in a standard savings account, earning 1% interest over 20 years ends up with $61,000. That same $50,000 invested in a low-cost index fund, averaging historical market returns, becomes over $200,000. Lost. The price of financial fear is compound interest you never earned. But the cost isn't only mathematical. It's the business not started because the money had no mission. The investment passed on because the pile felt too sacred to touch. The opportunity that knocked when your cash had no plan, so you watched it walk away. In investing, what is comfortable is rarely profitable. Fear saving is not neutral, it is costly. Every year the pile sits without a mission, you pay that price. And what stings most, people around you who appear financially reckless, who invest, who build, who deploy capital. Many of them are quietly building the life your fear is keeping you from. The pattern can be broken. In the next segment, I'll give you the exact 3 questions that separate a fear saver from a wealth builder, and how to begin the shift today. The pivot moment. The shift from fear saving to mission saving is not about spending more or saving less. It starts with 3 questions. 1, what is this money for? 2, when does it deploy? 3, what happens if I never use it? If you cannot answer question 1 clearly, you are likely hoarding anxiety. If you have no answer for question 2, your pile has no mission. If your answer to question 3 is simply keep saving more, that is not a plan, that is a pattern. Every dollar needs a job, or it becomes a prop. Here is what this looks like in practice. Your emergency fund is real and necessary. 3 to 6 months of living expenses, clearly defined with a precise ceiling. Everything above that ceiling is either investment capital, opportunity capital, or unclaimed fear. Give it a name. Give it a destination. Give it a timeline. Name it, deploy it. It's not how much money you make, but how much money you keep and how hard it works for you. Money responds to intention. A pile responds to nothing. The next segment is the deepest thing in this entire video. It connects everything I've said to the real reason why so many people die with full accounts and empty lives. Do not stop now. The hidden truth. Here's what most people are never willing to say out loud. The reason fear-saving feels like freedom is because it is a kind of freedom. It's freedom from the vulnerability of ever having to commit to something. Think about what the pile actually protects you from. If you never invest, you can never lose an investment. If you never start the business, it can never fail. If you never deploy the capital, you never have to face whether your ambition was actually worth anything. The pile is not protecting you from poverty. The pile is protecting you from the risk of your own potential. This is the pattern I told you about at the very beginning. The one running through almost every person with a full savings account and a quietly empty life. Fear named security. It doesn't build, it insulates. And what it insulates you from is not failure, it's growth. A pile with no plan isn't security. It's fear wearing a savings account. The wealthy are not braver than you. They simply learned that accumulation without intention is not wealth. It's waiting. Are you building or hiding? Drop building or hiding in the comments right now. I want to know where you stand. And if this hits something real in you, share this with as many people as you possibly can. This truth needs to reach far and wide. Someone you know needs to hear this today. Reprogram now. So what do you do with all of this? You don't stop saving. You stop saving without intention. Start here. Define your emergency fund with precision. A specific number, a specific ceiling, 3 months of expenses, 6 months, whatever your situation calls for. Pick the number, name the purpose, and stop when you hit it. Then audit everything above that ceiling. Investment account, named opportunity fund, named dream capital, named a named dollar has direction. A nameless dollar grows into hoarded anxiety. Finally, audit the feeling. When you consider moving money from savings into investment, notice what happens in your body. That tightening, that resistance is fear, not wisdom. Acknowledge it, then make the intentional move anyway. Name it, build something. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. You have been responsible your whole life. Now be intentional. The difference between a saver and a wealth builder is not discipline, it is direction. You were responsible enough to save. Now be bold enough to build. The difference between a saver and a builder is a mission. The final piece, the one that ties everything together, is what comes next. You came into this video thinking saving money was one of the wisest things you could do. Maybe it is. But now you know the question that actually matters. What is your savings actually for? A pile is not power. A plan is power. The wealthiest builders in history did not accumulate fear. They accumulated intention. They gave every dollar a destination and moved it there with purpose. Not because they weren't afraid, but because they understood something fundamental. The ability to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, for as long as you want is priceless. It is the highest dividend money pays. Your savings account will not save you from yourself. Only clarity will do that. Start today, name your money, give it a mission. Anything left over with no name, no destination, no timeline, be honest about what it actually is. It is not security. It's fear in disguise. If you made it this far, comment mission money, because you are no longer saving blindly. You are building with intention. Your mind is either programmed for wealth or poverty. Now you know how to reprogram it. If this exposed something in you, subscribe, there's more to uncover.